Tonight, the Athletics return to Oakland after a frustrating road trip. The Green and Gold could only muster one win on their 8-game trip. Bob Melvin and the boys had lots of chances to win some close games behind some excellent starting pitching. But the offense stalled as this up-and-down 2016 season continues. Tonight, rookie left-hander Sean Manaea gets the ball as the A's open up a 9-game homestand. First up, the first-place Texas Rangers. The Athletics will look to disrupt the AL West standings. It's game 1 of 4. A's-Rangers next. Monday Night Baseball from the Coliseum. It is good to be back home. It is the start of a nice long homestand for the Athletics. And in town is the first-place Texas Rangers, and that'll be the job of Sean Manaea to hold down this very good Rangers team. It's the first of a 4-game series. It's the Rangers and the A's coming up on CSN California. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. I'm Glenn Kuiper, and the Texas Rangers making their first trip to the Coliseum this year, and they come in as a very, very hot team. In fact, right now the Texas Rangers at 39-25 have the best record in the American League, and they lead the West by 5 games. They've won 17 out of their last 22 games. The offense, nearly 5 runs per game, and pitching-wise, the starters have been very, very good. So that is the breakdown for the first-place Texas Rangers. Joining me now is Mark Mulder. And Mark, tonight Sean Manaea's job is to slow down this Rangers team. And for Manaea, and we talked about it before, he just seems to get a little better and a little more comfortable each start.
Well, and I think each and every time he's gone a little deeper into games. His last start was a great start. Just made the 2 mistakes, gave up the 2 home runs, but he went 7 innings. And I think the deeper you go, the more and more confidence you're going to get. That way you get the 2nd, 3rd, even 4th time through the order, and you have something to get those guys out with. And you see with those numbers, the last 5 starts have been better, and the A's would like to see that continue today.
Yeah, he has thrown at least 6 innings in each of those last 5 starts. And for the Rangers, they will send a rookie or a left-hander Cesar Ramos to the mound. So that's your pitching matchup, and it's game 1 of a 4-game series between the Oakland A's and the Texas Rangers. We'll have lineups and first pitch when we come back to the Coliseum, so stick around.
on CSN California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. It's back, the Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack. Taste it before it's gone at Jack in the Box. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
Sean Manaea and the Athletics take the field. So it's great to be back home. The all-white uniforms tonight. Manaea looking for his third win of the year. Game time weather for tonight is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 63 degrees and a little breezy tonight here at the Coliseum. The first place Texas Rangers in town. Our second look at the Rangers this year. They were here earlier. Had a good series against them. The A's have not been to Arlington yet this year. Let's look at the lineup tonight for Texas. Shin-Soo Choo off the disabled list, and he's back in there tonight. He'll play right field. Ian Desmond in center. Jurickson Profar will play third base. Rougned Odor will hit cleanup. Ryan Rua is in left. Prince Fielder's your DH. Elvis Andrus is the shortstop. And then Mitch Moreland at first, and Bobby Wilson is your catcher.
And Sean Manaea starting tonight. You take a look at the numbers. I don't think it tells the whole story. He got off to a little bit of a rough start, but recently been much better. His last start at the Brewers might have, in my opinion, been his best game, except for the 2 home runs that he gave up. You see the season high 7 innings in his last start, looking to build off that.
Defensively behind the big left-hander, Davis, Crispin, Smolinski in the outfield. Valencia, Simeon, Ladendorf, and Alonso on the infield, and Fegley is your catcher. Jed Lowry getting the night off. So we are set for baseball from the Coliseum, as Sean Manaea brings that 2-4 record into tonight's start, his 9th start of the year. And the first pitch of the ball game to Shin-Soo Choo is outside. Rangers happy to get Choo back in their lineup. He has not played very much this year due to injury. He'll be followed by Desmond and Profar. Second pitch of the game is lifted in the air toward left. Davis going back, now near the wall, and he makes the catch. Looked like a fairly routine fly ball to left and ended up going to the warning track.
Yeah, it looked like a pop-up to left, just continued to take Davis all the way back and made the catch right in front of the wall.
Number 20, Ian Desmond.
So with 1 out, here's Ian Desmond. Terrific season for Desmond, 306, 9 home runs, and 42 runs batted in. Rangers are thrilled with what they're getting from Ian Desmond. It's always funny, you think back, they signed him late, a 1-year deal. Anybody could have had him. He was out there.
Nobody wanted him to play shortstop, though. And I guess in past years, he would have spurts defensively where he couldn't make the routine play, and it scared everyone away. And lo and behold, the Rangers, hey, you know what? We want you to play left field. And now look what he's doing for him offensively. He's doing a good job defensively. He's an athlete overall. So he could probably play just about anywhere. It was whether or not he was willing to.
And he decided he was, and he's really having a nice season. So plenty of sunshine out in right field for Jake Smolinski to deal with. That'll be gone soon. Bounced. Alonso vacates first, so Manaea is going to have to get over there, and he missed it. So Alonso, if he had to do it again, he would not have made the effort, as he was quite a ways off the bag. And the second base to pitcher throw is not an easy play.
No, and sometimes for a left-hander, since you have to reach back with your right hand, for a righty, you catch the glove on that side, on your left side. Manaea, you can see him have to reach across his body. He did not look where the base was those last couple steps. I always like to find the bag right before that guy's going to throw. He didn't do that, and he put his head down to look for the bag and missed the baseball.
So it is an error on Manaea. And that'll bring up Jurickson Profar. Quite a story is this young man. We have not seen him in a couple years. There was a time when he was one of the top prospects in all of baseball, and he had a little bit of big league time. Boy, the last 2 years he's been injured and then injured again. A lot of shoulder issues, but now he seems to be healthy.
Well, anytime a young player, I mean, I think he was in the big leagues at 19 or 20. Real young, just a superstar waiting to happen, and the injuries really set him back. But the perseverance he's had through all those injuries is paying off now with a nice start to this season.
He's still only 23 years old.
Well, yeah.
He can play the infield, he can play a little outfield, and the Rangers are thrilled to have him healthy, and now they're going to say, hey, well, let's see what he can do. If you were a prospect 2 years ago and you're still only 23 and the reason you weren't playing is just injuries, the Rangers still feel like they got something here. He's playing in place of Adrian Beltre. Beltre is nursing a sore hamstring, and he's getting better, but the Rangers are going to be very cautious with Beltre, and I don't know if we'll see him in this series. If we do, probably won't be till Wednesday or Thursday, but it sounds like the Rangers are going to be very careful with Adrian Beltre. This was Wednesday. Beltre, game at home, feeling it a little bit in his left leg.
Well, and he's someone who can play through that kind of stuff. He was out running earlier today before batting practice and running sprints around the edge of the outfield dirt, and he looked pretty good, to be honest with. But like you said, they're just going to be cautious most likely. No reason to have him re-injure that, even though, like I said, he could kind of go at it 75% and still do a great job. But
we've seen him do that before.
Absolutely. I think he did that in the playoffs also.
So that is why Profar is in the lineup playing third base. He's a switch hitter. Nomar Mazara, the fine young left-handed hitting outfielder, is out of the lineup as well. He's just getting a day off. There's your umpires. John Hirschbeck is the crew chief. Vic Carapazza, Bill Welke, Toby Bassner. Desmond with a decent lead at first. He's not running, and the pitch is blocked by Fegley. Now he's going to take off, and the A's are going to have him in a rundown. Landorf to Alonso to Simeon, and Simeon will finish the deal. Both guys tumble down. He's called out. Not quite sure what Desmond was doing there. The ball was blocked, just rolled out in front of Fegley, and Desmond kind of half took off and then stopped.
Well, I think Desmond just was betting on the fact that Fegley wasn't going to keep this in front of him, and what a job by Fegley. You can see where this ball bounces way in front of home plate, which is why Desmond took off. And I actually think it was a great read because he thought it was going to bounce away. It never did. Fegley smothers it, picks it right up, makes a good throw, and then we get in this rundown, and you see the back in the fourth, and Simeon's able to run him down and almost try to slide tackle him.
Yeah. So Manaea will take it, 2 outs. Swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch, and that's how the top of the first comes to an end. So an error, but does not hurt the A's. We are headed to the bottom of the first. No score. Melvin. Crisp, Simeon, Valencia, Davis, Butler, Fegley, Smolinski, Alonso, Ladendorf.
And Cesar Ramos starting tonight for the Rangers. Back and forth from the bullpen. You see the 7 games, 3 of those being starts. Last pitched on the 4th. You'll see someone with 86 to 89 with the fastball, curveball, slider, change, 4-pitch guy. Nothing really overpowering though.
And this was the Yu Darvish spot. Darvish was placed on the disabled list today. Some neck, shoulder soreness. Darvish back, now back on the disabled list.
Well, I mean, some of the games that I saw him pitch before he went on the DL, coming just back from Tommy John surgery. I mean, he was 97 to 99. I mean, it was almost, his stuff was almost better than it was prior to him going on the DL.
0-2 to Coco Crisp, hitting .222. So Ramos making the start in place of Darvish tonight. The report on Darvish is neck and shoulder tightness. Coco up the middle, base hit. Almost reached down, almost grabbed it. So leadoff single for Coco Crisp. Defensively for the Rangers, Rua, Desmond, and Chu in the outfield. Profar, Andrus, Odor, and Moreland on the infield. Bobby Wilson is your catcher. So here's Marcus Semien sliding up to the 2 spot in tonight's game. There's one left-handed hitter in the A's lineup. That's Yonder Alonso, who's hitting 8th. .12 home runs and 27 RBIs for Marcus. Had a home run yesterday. He's getting that win in the final game of the road trip in Cincinnati. This is the home run at Great American Ballpark.
Well, we've seen this a few times this year. Another one, you can see him pull his hands in and just hit a bullet out to left field. Sometimes that inside pitch would get him in the pass, but he's starting to do some damage on that inner half.
That pitch is outside. 3-1 to count. A's come in with a 26-36 record. 13-16 at home. So game number 63 for the A's on the season. Remember, it was the month of May, middle of May, when the Rangers came into the Coliseum and the A's swept them in 3 games. Those are the only 3 games that these 2 teams have played so far this year. Fouled straight back. Lee. So the road trip where the A's went 1-7, it was an offense that just could not get going. 2.5 runs per game, 8 home runs, but remember 3 of them came yesterday, and there was some close games. All in all, the offense could not get going, but a good start tonight. Marcus Semien shoots one up the middle. 2 on, nobody out.
Well, and both the hits for the A's have been on, one was on a breaking ball up, this is on a fastball up in the zone. And you can see Semien all over, driving it right back up the middle. Just elevated enough, right between Ramos's legs. It's never a good feeling when you see a ball as the starting pitcher, or as a pitcher, when it's coming right back at you and you know you can't get to it. He wasn't exactly in the best fielding position ready for that either.
So here's Valencia. Early opportunity. He scored early in yesterday's game in Cincinnati. Got that offense going. Talked about that in the open of our show.
Well, and this is what changes things. You know, Manaea goes out, puts up a 0. Now the A's have an opportunity. You have first and second, nobody, or one out, no outs. Sorry. You need to get a run or two here. Put a run up first. Give yourself a lead. Let Manaea settle into this game instead of too many times this season the A's have fallen behind early, and the offense puts a little more pressure on themselves, and it makes things tougher. But it's always nice when you can score first.
1-1 to Valencia, hitting .335 with 10 home runs, 24 RBIs. A little flare, and that's going to get down. Coco stopped to make sure that it got over the head of Odor, so he'll go to third. He just was not quite sure. He did have to wait. Odor hustling back. So the bases are loaded and nobody out.
Well, this ball jams Valencia, but he gets enough to get it to the outfield. Like you said, Crisp had to hold on longer. He couldn't tell because of the angle. You can see Simeon off and running, but Crisp couldn't tell because of the angle. Odor was kind of in the way. You see he goes, and then he stops for a second. Really just didn't have a chance there. You can't take a chance of getting doubled off. And now we have bases loaded.
So Expo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. First pitch to Davis, and he taps it foul at the plate. Chris Davis hitting in the cleanup spot, .239 with 14 home runs, 37 RBIs. He was 3 for 8 in that series in Cincinnati, started 2 of the 3 games. Did not play in the Milwaukee series. That one tapped slowly toward short. Andrus is going to go to second to get the out there onto first, not in time. So the run comes in to score. That's Coco Crisp, and the A's have a 1-0 lead here in the first.
Well, you can see Davis wasn't very happy about that swing or what he did right there with the bases loaded, but it does get that run across. It was an awfully nice turn by the Rangers. As slow as that was hit, it wasn't all that close at first, but a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. I thought they was just going to take the force out at second and let it be.
So give Davis his 38th RBI of the year. Billy Butler steps in. Butler hitting in the 5th spot. He's the DH. First pitch is a fastball inside from Cesar Ramos. Butler 3 for 5 in the series in Cincinnati. He's been swinging a hot bat. He's got 10 hits in his last 25 at bats. Knocked in 10 runs in his last 12 games, so it's good to see a little production from Billy Butler. Simeon at third, and Davis is the runner at first. Now 3-0.
On Ramos's command. Not what he's hoping for, but he's gone with back-to-back changeups to Butler. One down, one up and away. You can tell he's trying to get that ground ball double play.
So the 3-0 pitch on the outside corner. Sinker at 89 miles an hour. Fegley to follow here in the first inning. A run in, and he's looking for more. And that one is just a touch low. Ramos trying to figure out where it was. Butler says it was low. Take my base. Lowest fastball swinging strike percentage. Cesar Ramos is at the top of the list. And a list you do not want to be at the top.
No, that's where you want to You want to throw that baseball, and you want to get the swings down there.
So the A's have a chance for a big inning here early. And this is, we talked about it on the road trip, really starting, you were in Houston at the beginning of the road trip, really starting back then. You have your best at bats in these spots. So here is Fegley hitting right at 300. He's got 4 RBIs. Hit foul down the right field line. Good night for foul balls. Your odds are pretty good tonight. It's a small crowd here at the Coliseum. A lot of people next door trying to get the Warriors a world championship. So there's some heat going off the top of that building. And now it's 0-2.
Well, and these are the opportunities. Not that the A's have had a ton of these opportunities on this last road trip, but when you're given these, you'd like to see some good at bats, good swings, some hard hit balls. These are the ones that where you can put up that crooked number, and you got to take advantage of those.
0-2 pitch to Fegley, and another changeup stays outside. So 23 pitches for Cesar Ramos. He has thrown as many as 96 this year. So even though he's going to fill in, Anders has it, and he flips to Odor, and that's a double play, and that hurt. So the A's get 1, but they had the bases loaded with 1 out, could not get any more in. So 1-0 A's after 1. Draymond Green, of course, not playing Game 5 next door, but Draymond said as soon as the Warriors win, I'm heading over there. So he's enjoying the A's game and watching his team very closely. And look who's right in front. The gentleman on the left, that's Bob Myers, the GM for the Warriors, and the gentleman on the right, Marshawn Lynch. That's a power booth, power suite. I think it's kind of cool that Bob Myers, the GM, has said, you know what, I'm going to hang with Draymond for a while. So,
well, that way he doesn't have to sit by himself.
That's true. So it looks like Draymond has got a good group over there and enjoying it. Pulling for his teammates tonight. That game is at halftime next door. So the A's said, well, let's do the math here. So he cannot play, and he can't be in the building,
which is
amazing. Yeah, it's a rule, whatever. So he cannot even be in the building. So why not be as close as you can to the building and come over to the A's game. A's offered him a suite. Good idea. And he would get over there quickly if there is a celebration. So there's your side story for tonight. Odor, Rua, and Prince Fielder facing Sean Manaea. Rognet Odor is hitting cleanup tonight. How about that? Broken bat, just foul.
Well, Odor's not the biggest of guys, but he has some thunder in that bat.
Yep.
There's a lot of pop.
He's got 13 doubles, 1 triple, and 10 home runs. And he swings like a full-fledged power hitter. 2-2 pitch. Pop straight back. Odor, according to the media guide, is 5'11", 195 pounds. 5'11" could be stretching it a little bit. A youngster, just 22 years old.
There's just certain guys, though, the ball just comes off their bat a little differently with a little bit of a different sound, and he's kind of one of those.
Drills one to Semien on a backhanded dive. Terrific play by Marcus Semien, playing right up the middle.
Well, I feel like there's many times when I criticize a shift sometimes because you say, oh, if somebody was playing the normal position, he would have had it. But this is one that Manaea needs to remember for future reference, because that ball was smoked. And Semien, who was playing the right spot, shifted right behind second base and made a great diving catch.
Well, from the earliest years where you start to learn how to hit, what do they say? Just hit it right back up the middle.
Drive it back where it came from.
Well, now with the shifts, you'd be like, well, there's usually a guy standing there. There's a guy standing there right now.
But it's a different guy this time.
That's true. It's the second baseman now.
Yeah.
1-0 to Ryan Rua. 1-1 to Ryan Rua, who's hitting .285. 4 homers, 13 RBIs. He's playing left field tonight. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Prince Fielder to follow. So Manaea, the big lefty, kicks and fires, high fastball. Rua swings through it. So that is out number 2. Here's our Geico quote of the game. Comes from the manager, Bob Melvin. Always a generous fella. He offered Draymond Green a chance to watch the game in a little more comfort. He said, hey, he could sit in my office if he wants to. Bob's got a nice office here at the Coliseum. Draymond said, thanks, but I'm okay.
Yeah, I think he's good where he is.
He's fine. A couple of strikeouts for Sean Manaea as he faces Prince Fielder. It's got to be strange, though. I mean, Draymond's smiling and generally pretty happy, upbeat guy, but that's got to be hard.
Oh, without a doubt, especially if they were to clinch.
Oh,
and
man.
you're not on the court at that very moment.
Not even in the building.
That's.
And plus, it may be even you're really close. You're like 100 feet away.
I mean, I'm sure if it's up, he's going to go in the tunnel and head kind of on over there. And as soon as the game's done, they'll rush him right in. But that's not the same. I mean, the dog pile and the.
Who's the guy in street clothes? Oh, it's Draymond. All right, let him in. 2-2 the count to Prince Fielder. 2-0-2. Slow start for Prince Fielder, although a little better lately. 5 home runs, 31 RBI. So the RBI count is decent for Big Prince. So Ladendorf out on the grass, but Well, the infield shifted over a little bit, but not the full shift. And that one's hit in the air, shallow center. Coco hustling in. He'll get there. And he makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down inning for Sean Manaea with a little help from the shortstop, Marcus Semien. CSN California is brought to you by AAA. What does your insurance do when it's not doing insurance? It should do more. Go to AAA.com for details. He's with a 1-0 lead, bottom of the second inning against Cesar Ramos. First pitch to Smolinski is a strike. 270 for Smolinski, a couple of home runs, 8 RBIs. 10 hits and 37 at bats. He's got a double and a triple. And he shoots this one right up the middle for a base hit. He waited on that curveball. There's 4 hits now for the Athletics against Ramos.
Well, this is the second slow curveball that the A's have hit right back up the middle. You can see Ramos, as big and as slow as that is, Smolinski out on his front foot, like we talked about, driving that back up the middle. It's textbook.
And here's the only left-hander in the lineup for the A's, Yonder Alonso. Alonso had a good series against his former team, the Cincinnati Reds. He was 5 for 9 in that series. So he's swinging a hot bat. He's got his average up to 250, which is a big deal for a hitter. It's kind of like getting to 500 as a team. You can kind of go from there.
Especially while it's still somewhat early, not early in the season, but the more at bats you start piling on, and the harder and harder that becomes to really get a good jump up in the average.
Alonso has 11 doubles to go along with his 1 home run. Does not have a lot of at-bats against left-handers this year. Just 18 at-bats, 2 for 18 against lefties. Defense pretty straight away. There's a shot. Moreland has it. He juggles, goes to second for 1, back to first, and Moreland is able to get back and cover first on his own. And it ends up being a 3-6-3 double play.
Well,
so the juggle did not hurt.
No, Alonso just one hop. You see Moreland, who is generally pretty sure-handed over there, had a little trouble getting it out of the glove, but it was hit so hard that all he really had to do was make a good throw. You can see bare-hand it and Elvis right back to him at first base once he found the bag.
First pitch to Landorf is at the knees for a strike. So a double play turned by the Rangers in each of the first 2 innings. Landorf shoots one. Foul. Vic Carapazza had to get out of the way. It was close to being fair.
Well, just right off the end of the bat, you could see how much spin, and it was a nice little jumps with a little splits.
Almost looked like it, when it first hit the ground, it kind of hit the edge of the dirt and the grass, and that helped it kick foul just a little bit. Landorf will have to get something going. He's got just 1 hit so far this year. Line drive into the glove of Profar, side retired. So a leadoff single, nothing else for the A's, and we're headed to the 3rd. A's 1, Rangers nothing.
Thousand fans will receive a baseball trading card pack presented by Topps. Bring Dad out to the ballpark for Father's Day and go home with a brand new set of baseball cards. Get your Father's Day tickets today at athletics.com/tickets.
Top of the 3rd, Elvis Andrus to lead it off against Sean Manaea, who has struck out a pair in the first 2 innings. Good pitch there to Andrus. Strike on the outside corner. Moreland to follow, and then the catcher Bobby Wilson. Changeup, and a good one.
Well, this is about as comfortable as I've seen Manaea. He looks very confident out there. He's pumping strikes. You can see Andrus way out in front of that one.
That one is lined into the right field corner. And Andrus will head to second with a double. So Elvis Andrus, give him some credit. 0-2. Was able to shoot a ball into the right field corner.
Well, we've seen this a few times from Manaea. His last start, the home runs to Chris Carter. Here's another time he wants a ball up and in. It's 0-2, so he's trying to elevate it, move the hitter, and what he gets out in front of it, opposite side of the plate, and Andrus trying to protect the plate. Drives it the other way. Those are pitches where you have to get them out of the strike zone. You can't let that happen where you fly open. Ball kind of sails on you a little bit. If you're not comfortable with that pitch, which it doesn't look like he is, you'd rather see him bounce a slider, bounce a breaking ball, or elevate it up and away.
So here's Moreland. Moreland takes a slider down and away. Moreland, 221, 9 homers, 27 RBIs. He is an A's killer. He's hit 10 home runs here at the Coliseum in his career. There's a strike outside corner. The Rangers are 39 and 24 on the year. That's the best record in the American League, and it's tied for the second best record in all of the major leagues. Of course, the Cubs have the best, and the Rangers and the Nationals are tied for the second best. Good in their division, 23 and 12 against the West, so they're rolling along.
Well, and as we showed some of the numbers earlier, it's kind of been their starting pitching and offense. I mean, the bullpen hasn't maybe been great, but the starting pitching has been really good. Cole Hamels has been outstanding.
Two 2-1 pitch. Moreland rolls it foul, and I think the common feeling in baseball is the one area that's probably easiest to get at the trade deadline is a relief pitcher.
Yep.
And sounds like this year there's going to be a lot of pretty good ones out there. There's the standings. The Rangers with a 5-game lead over the Seattle Mariners. And a good breaking ball, and that's a big strikeout. So Moreland has an unproductive out. So he could not get Andrus over.
Well, and what did this was the fastball inside that Moreland pulled foul. I don't know if that was a changeup that he kind of yanked a little bit, but it had slider type action to it. I thought it was a changeup, but kind of yanks it glove side, and Moreland out in front over the top.
So here's the catcher, Bobby Wilson. And Wilson takes a fastball inside corner for a strike. Yeah, the Rangers are on a long road trip. They just won 2 out of 3 in Seattle. And then the 4 games here in Oakland. And then after this, they will head to St. Louis for an interleague matchup over the weekend. So a 10-game trip. They will be away for a while.
It's an interesting trip going Seattle, Oakland, St. Louis.
At least they're sort of heading home at the end. Oh, 0-1 to Bobby Wilson, who's hitting .281, 3 home runs and 16 RBIs. Swing and a miss.
There's another good changeup from Manaea. You see the slide step with Andrus on second, trying to be quick, just kind of varying his looks. But that slide step changeup, sometimes when you speed it up, and come quick to home plate, it's tough for the hitters to slow it down.
And he got him swinging. So strikeout number 4 for Sean Manaea.
Well, and since that leadoff double, Manaea's made some great pitches here to both these last 2 hitters, going back to that changeup, and Wilson out in front.
Almost looks like he threw that one a little harder. Nasty pitch.
Well, it's well located, and you know that location down and away, when you can pump it up to 93, 94 miles an hour, and you throw something then at 84, 85.
So here's Chu, the leadoff hitter. Chu hit a fly ball to left field in the first. Outside corner strike. Andrus still at second base. Shift is on for Chu. Straight away in the outfield. Chu had a good rip and a high fastball, fouls it straight back. So Manaea ahead in the count, 0-2. Strand Elvis Andrus at second base. Andrus is going to try to steal third, and he will make it without a throw. You could kind of see that materializing. Andrus, very good base stealer.
Yeah, you can see Manaea didn't even really give him a look. The only thing is when you're running like that and it's an 0-2 count, you could very easily, had that been a pitch close to the strike zone, then you're distracting Chu. Because yes, it sets you up for a possible pass ball here to score, but that's about it.
Rolled off the foot of Chu. So he'll try to walk it off.
Really, the sinker in. Almost looked like he got it off his left knee. If I'm Manaea, you're going right back in there with another one.
Why not? Hard slider. Ball pinballs around. Fegley picks it up. So the count even at 2-2.
Well, and the one thing with Andrus on third is Fegley has to be ready for those balls in the dirt. And this one he was. Ball bouncing near home plate. Nice play to smother it, keep it in front of him, so Andrus doesn't score.
Just missed, and now full count. Chu taking a close pitch. Ian Desmond would be next. Payoff pitch is outside. He walked him. So he was ahead of Chu and lost him, and that's the first walk by Manaea.
Now batting, number 20.
So now you got to get the very good Ian Desmond, but not before a visit from Kurt Young. What do you remember about Kurt and his visits to the mound? He's a pretty soft-spoken guy.
Yeah, he is. I mean, this is just to settle him down just a little bit. He got the 2 strikeouts and pitched a little backwards to Chu there. I would have liked to have seen him gone with that fastball, go after Chu instead of a couple breaking balls, and then 3-2 ended up going with the changeup. I mean, you go fastball in on Chu, and especially after the one he hit off his kneecap, I thought it would have been a better choice, but now you got the lefty righty, and it's just more. Kurt goes out there, okay, here's what we need to do right here, just kind of remind him of the game plan, scouting report, that type of stuff.
Got to make good pitches here. Desmond 333 with runners in scoring position and a 377 average against left-handed pitching. And he chased a pitch down.
Well, and another good changeup. You see the slide step, and you can see Desmond was trying to. He was looking for a first pitch heater, and he was guessing wrong.
Andrus well down the line at third, and this one is skied behind home plate. Fegley flips the mask, waits, hangs with it. A little snow cone, but he's got it. So the Rangers strand a pair in the top of the third. Bottom of the third coming up, 1-0 A's. lowest starters in Major League Baseball. The Rangers are 4th. Cubs, Mets, Nationals, Rangers, Giants. So the Rangers starters have been very good with that 3.38 ERA. What's kind of strange is the Rangers bullpen has the worst ERA in the American League. So I think the bullpen, it seems like they're just trying to move some parts around. Tollison really struggled, the closer. He's not the closer anymore. So maybe some parts moving around a little bit in that bullpen. But the starters have been fine. If the Rangers can just kind of straighten out the bullpen.
Well, like you said, that's something that can be adjusted. You move some guys around, all of a sudden guys go into certain roles and they become a little more comfortable, and sometimes it can fix itself without even needing to make many different moves.
Well, Tollison really struggled, so he lost the job. And remember, they traded for Tom Wilhelmsen, and Wilhelmsen's been a pretty good reliever, was with the Mariners, and he has not pitched well. So now you got two guys who you were going to probably lean on a little bit, and neither of them has had very good seasons so far.
No, but I think a couple of them, though, at some point, if they're not injured, you can look at a track record.
Yeah, that's right.
And go, okay, things will turn around for them, because at the end of the year, the numbers will probably maybe not be where they want them, but they're going to be closer to what the norm is.
Well, what you can also say is, even with a bullpen ERA of that, you still have the best record in the American League. So you're doing a lot of other things right.
There's not many teams that can do what the Cubs are doing at this moment.
No. That's almost a different deal there.
Yeah, so I mean, there's going to be something. There's always something throughout a season that could maybe be better here or there, but for right now, things are working right for these guys. And if and when that bullpen gets turned around, it could be a good sign going forward.
3-2 pitch to Coco's rolled foul. Cole Hamels having a very good year. Hamels has got 6 wins. Derek Holland in that rotation. Colby Lewis is 5-0. Martin Perez has pitched well. Now Darvish on the disabled list. Three and 2 the count. Semien to follow, and then Valencia here in the bottom of the 3rd. And the pitch is high, and it's a leadoff walk. So he's just not feeling comfortable. This was his last start on Wednesday, kind of shaking the arm. And again, it's the neck shoulder muscles that have been a little bit sore.
And I don't know if it was maybe just from that curveball, because that was one of the ones that he does when he throws them real slow. But man, like I said, the stuff that he was featuring when he came back from Tommy John surgery was better than what he had before Tommy John surgery. So it makes you kind of wonder if something just kind of tweaks something because of that. You know, your shoulder, and whether it's your neck or whatever it is with him in that shoulder area, maybe he wasn't quite ready for all that.
Well, they took an MRI, no structural damage, so it's really just let it calm down a little bit, but he is on the disabled list. Oh, 2 the count to Marcus Semien. Way inside. The Rangers made those moves today. Darvish to the DL, and they sent a young outfielder, Jared Hoying, to the minors. Chu was activated, and they added Alex Claudio, a left-handed reliever, to their bullpen. So they had a busy day. And Semien swings and misses, and that's the first strikeout for Cesar Ramos.
Well, and Ramos, like I said, a 4-pitch guy.
Now batting.
Goes back to that changeup, and it was up in the zone, and I guarantee you Marcus Semien would love to have that one back. Might have been a little bit of a foul tip just because you saw him look back, but that's one he'd like to have over again.
So here's Valencia, who had a base hit in the first inning. Valencia takes a fastball first strike, 89 miles an hour from Cesar Ramos. There's a shot to third off the glove of Profar, and Andrus picks it up, but there's no play to be made. Obviously, it would have been a double play if Profar could make the play, but it was a shot.
Well, you see Profar almost as if he can't believe he didn't make that play. Fastball in, and Valencia hits it hard, and it comes up. Profar just kind of gets it off the end of his glove. Maybe it just came up a little higher. No, he just clanked it. You know, and he was looking up at that scoreboard waiting for the replay, almost wondering, wait, how did I just miss that?
So still no ruling on whether that was a hit or an error. And here's Chris Davis. First pitch to Davis is a changeup low. They're going to give an error to Profar.
And that's not an easy play,
no.
But for a big league infielder,
yeah,
that's a play that even he would say I should have made.
Yeah, I think that's an error. You're right.
No.
Now 2-0. Now, granted, it's a smash, but still, I think you could safely say
it's a play that a big league infielder is going to make the majority of the time. And you know, I know it might have had a little funny spin on it or whatever, but it didn't seem like it did a whole lot. It was, like you said, it was hit hard, but that play needs to be made.
And that one is drilled to left field. Rua's back, and it is gone. It's a 3-run homer for Chris Davis. Just over the scoreboard, and it's 4-0 A's. So the A's make the Rangers pay for a fielding mistake.
You can see the frustration from Profar after that home run. After it hit off the top there, he just kind of scratched his head, and because he knew that was an inning-ending double play. And it continued, and the A's, it's a big hit to take advantage of another team's mistake.
Remember, Chris Davis had that huge series against the Rangers earlier this year. So he now has 5 home runs this year against Texas in 4 games.
Is that good?
That's pretty good. 3 came in 1 game. Won the game with the grand slam. To Butler is low. That's a 4-pitch walk. Butler walks for the second time.
And a good swing from Davis. You see it trying to go down and away, and the ball just kind of comes back over the middle.
Now batting the catcher.
This is very similar to a couple of the home runs. Some of those ones he hit against the Rangers earlier this year. Left center. You can see it go right above the out-of-town scoreboard. Hit right off the red sign and bounce back into play.
So here's Fegley. Fegley swings through an off-speed pitch. Fegley hit into a 6-4-3 double play to end the first inning. Came up with the bases loaded and 1 out. So Ramos throws him back-to-back changeups.
Well, it's a pitch that he's very comfortable with. You see him go to it. He's gone to it a couple different times with 2 strikes early in the count to get ahead. Generally, he commands it very well. So when you do that, you're able to throw it at any count. His neither breaking ball has been very sharp yet.
Foul straight back. So the count stays 0-2 to Phegley. Chris Davis. Chris Davis had the RBI fielder's choice in the first inning, so he has all 4 RBIs tonight, giving him 41 on the year. Left center field, that'll get down for a hit. Billy Butler will stop at second. So Phegley's aboard. Still only 1 out in this inning.
Well, as I said about Ramos and the changeup, he goes back to it again. Threw it the first 2 pitches, tried to backdoor a slider on the 3rd pitch, and that one's another changeup up over the middle. Phegley out in front a little bit, but when you've already seen 2 of them, makes it a whole lot easier.
Doug Brocale, the pitching coach, has come out. So this inning has gone walk, strikeout, air, homer, walk, single. So Brocale trots off, but they're going to get some action. Wilhelmsen's going to start to throw. So the A's with a 4-0 lead. So here is Smolinski, 2 on, 1 out. First pitch, down and in.
This is an opportunity for the A's almost to kind of deliver that knockout blow to Ramos and the Rangers right here.
Close pitch, a little low, and now the count goes to 2-0. You could also get into their bullpen early in the first of a 4-game series. Missed again, and now it's 3-0.
Well, and that tells you how much Ramos believes in his fastball right there. 2-0 count. He goes back to the changeup again. So there's not a whole lot of confidence coming from him right now.
So 3-0 with Alonso to follow. And there's a strike. Got to ease that one in there, 87 miles an hour.
Well, which is why I think it had a little cut to it. He's trying to aim it. That's what happens. You get a little short, you don't extend, and the ball just kind of has a little cut or tail to it.
See what Ramos does on 3-1. Butler at second, Phegley at first. Not close. 3rd walk in this inning. And now the bases are loaded. So right now, Cesar Ramos feels like this inning may never end.
Yonder Alonso.
And you got a hot hitter coming up in Yonder Alonso, who's got a couple of career grand slams. Boy, that air looms large, doesn't it? Air by Profar that certainly seems like it would have been a double play. It was a smash.
Yep.
And that would have ended the inning. That one's hit high in the air. Rua in left, circles around it. Butler tags. Butler's going to try to score. The throw to the plate is through, but late. And Billy Butler scores, and now in a rundown is Smolinski. And did Smolinski get back? No, he did not. He tried to sneak into second base, but he is tagged out there, but Butler comes in to score on the sacrifice fly by Alonso. So the A's score 4 times, 3 coming on Chris Davis' home run. 4th inning coming up. It's the A's 5 and the Rangers nothing. Run shot. Davis now has 15 home runs on the year, and 5 have been hit against the Texas Rangers. And he hasn't even played in the game in Arlington yet. He'll like it there. So shutdown inning chance for Manaea, 9 for 11 so far this year. He'll face Profar, Odor, and Rua. First pitch at the knees, a good one for a strike. So we saw a crooked number yesterday in Cincinnati, which is nice to see. There's not been a lot of crooked numbers for the A's, and they throw up another one here, a 4 spot in the 3rd.
No, but what helps is you see the pace Manaea's working at. He's pounding the strike zone, getting quick outs, getting the guys back in the dugout, giving them that chance to get the offense going, and so far it's worked.
1 walk, 4 strikeouts so far for Manaea. He's given up 1 hit, a double to Andrus. .53 pitches here into the 4th inning. Manaea's last 5 starts, innings pitched, 6 2/3. 6 2/3, 6, 6, and 7. That's pretty good.
Yeah, he's learning his way through a lineup. He's learning how to get guys out that 3rd and maybe 4th time through. There's something to be said for that. You know, they've now seen pretty much everything that you have, and you gotta.
Landorf, nice play on to first, 1 away. Here's our Ford Right choice. May 16th of this year, Sean Manaea gets his first big league win, and it was against these Texas Rangers, and it was right here at the Coliseum. Pitching into the 7th inning. It was one of those starts we just talked about, and a walk, 3 strikeouts, 95 pitches. Career win number 1. Always helps to have a little defense, but he'll remember that one. May 16th. Final score, A's 3. Rangers 1. Rolled foul, but he is clearly starting to settle in.
Well, and for me, he's attacking guys. Some of his first few starts that I saw, you know, picking a little bit, maybe not as confident with your stuff, and all of a sudden it really seems like he's starting to trust it more, and not trying to be so fine with it.
And even those first 3 starts, start number 1, 4 runs in 5 innings. Start number 2, 4 runs in 5 innings. But the start in Boston kind of screwed up the whole ERA thing. He gave up 8 earned runs in 2 2/3 innings. So that's where everything kind of ballooned.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
No, that doesn't help. But since then, he's really done a pretty good job. It's kind of fun to see a young guy just slowly starting to settle in. Oh, 0-2 to Rougned Odor. Pitch high fastball, and Odor chased it. And strikeout number 5. Greater coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. So you just saw the fastball. What about the changeup? It's been a good pitch for Manaea, and no surprise, more success. He's using it a little more.
Number 16.
Yeah, he hasn't thrown as many sliders, and I think gone to the changeup more. And as good as it's been, why not?
And strike percentage over 73% with his changeup. That's pretty darn good.
And that's
that probably means he's getting a lot of swings and misses out.
Absolutely, and that's the trust. You know, the confidence. You're getting more and more confident. You don't have to be fine with it. I'm sure when sometimes a young guy comes up and like, okay, I don't want to make a mistake with a changeup, and you try to be too fine with it. Next thing you know, you throw it for a ball, and the reason it's a good pitch is because you can throw it for a strike and still get swings and misses and get weak contact. And that's part of being able to pitch in the strike zone and get outs.
25% changeups tonight, 19% sliders. It's based off his what is now 62 pitches.
When a young guy learns to pitch, that he can pitch in the strike zone, that's when you can see a difference in someone.
Fastball at 89 miles an hour. So 3-1 the count to Ryan Rua. Rua hits it hard. On the backhand is Valencia. Gets up, throws wide, and it's past Alonso, and that will allow Rua to go to second base. So that's too bad. Valencia made a very nice play. It'll be a single in an E5.
You see the shot off the bat. Valencia fields it clean. Had his back turned, trying to get a handle on the ball, and when he turned, it almost just seemed as he maybe didn't quite pick up his target or didn't have a good handle on it. The ball kind of sank, almost like a sinker, and you can see Alonso try to get over there to get it and just didn't have enough range to get there with the runner being right there. He couldn't go after it the way he would have liked off the end of the glove, and ruined the second.
So a couple of errors tonight for the Athletics. And here's Prince Fielder. Fielder hit a fly ball to shallow center to end the second inning. Taking a strike, 91 from Manaea.
I'd like to see Manaea come right back with that same pitch. Fastball middle in, go right after him.
Did missed inside with a fastball. I walked in today with Sean Manaea, and you don't realize how big he is until you're standing right next to him, because he's tall, but he is also big. In fact, I don't know. Basketball court on the block, he may move you out a little bit, Mark.
There's a good chance. I'm not. I might have him on height by a little
bit, maybe an inch,
but not on the pounds.
You'd have to just step back a little bit,
That's all right. He can have down low.
2-1 the count to Prince Fielder. And he waves at a slider. So there was the slider. Picked a good time to throw. It looked like Prince Fielder was looking for something else.
Well, and that's a direct result of those first 2 fastballs in. You get somebody thinking about middle in and that you can command the ball in there, and all of a sudden you can now throw that ball off the plate, expand the zone, and Prince guessing heater right there.
What would he be looking for here? They're going to try to come in. And it almost hit him, and it did hit him. He got some of the jersey. Watch the jersey.
I thought I heard a little bit of a
click, click
of a noise, but
Elvis Andrews.
Yep, I saw it. That's the way you want to get hit if you're a hitter. So now 2 on, 2 out, and here's Elvis Andrus, who has the one of the 2 hits in the game for Texas, that double in the 3rd. Well, the Rangers trying to get back in it. Pitch number 70 coming up for Manaea. Andrus takes low. A couple of 20-pitch innings the last 2, and still not done in this one. Elvis Andrus, a .347 hitter with runners in scoring position. Inside. So now it's 2-0, and there'll be a visit on the mound.
Well, this is where you'd like to see Manaea stay in that attack mode like we saw him earlier in this inning. Kind of aiming those last couple, trying to be careful. You're very well aware that Andrews got you last time, but you got to just focus pitch by pitch, make the next one. 2-0 count, make a good pitch right here.
Rua at second, Fielder at first. There's a base hit left field. Rua has good speed, picked up by Chris Davis, and he'll just throw it into third. So Rua comes in to score. So the Rangers are on the board. It's 5-1. So now Kurt Young's going to come out.
2-0 count, and Andrews is ready to swing, and that's a sinker or a heater that's just located middle. Big league hitters are waiting for that. That's what I was talking about, trying to throw a well-located pitch. You got to keep it on the corner. Take advantage of their aggressiveness at times. You know he wants to swing the bat with the 2-0 count, try and drive in a run, and you don't want to just think, okay, let's throw a strike as opposed to make a pitch.
Interesting note there. This is finishing up the second time through the lineup. And it's Mitch Moreland. Moreland struck out in the 3rd inning. So lefty on lefty in the first pitch to the backstop. So Fielder will move up, as will Andrus. So did you feel this way when you were a young pitcher, maybe your rookie season, where comparing to how you handled situations later on in your career where you see an inning starting to roll against you a little bit, not quite sure how to slow this thing down?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I like talking about it, because it happened to me my rookie year. I struggled at times, and you know, he was kind of cruising along. You could see the confidence, you could see it in his body language, and then the second he hit Fielder, all of a sudden the release of the baseball kind of changed. Yep. He started aiming it a little bit,
rolled foul, so the count even at 1-1.
You know, right here's a good example. That's a good fastball in, and it's lefty on lefty. It's hard for lefties to get to a ball that's moving in on them like that. Be aggressive here. He could go back to that pitch right here, maybe get a weak ground ball. Everybody's shifted to that right side. There's nothing wrong with that ground ball to second base right here.
And that one is hooked foul.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why it's a great pitch.
There.
Yes, because you can't keep it fair. You know, yeah, that's a smoked ball to right field. It's just a strike. And you can't let that, just because that's a hard hit ball, you can't let it affect what you're going to do on this pitch. This ball's inside.
That's a good pitch.
That is a great pitch. That foul ball, that sets up so many different things. You could try to go even a little further in this time if you wanted to.
Tap toward Ladendorf, picks it up on the first side, retired. So when it's all said and done, the Rangers get just the one and a couple of hits. So we're headed to the bottom of the fourth. 5-1 A's. By Sonoma Raceway. NASCAR is back at Sonoma Raceway for the Toyota Save Bar 350, June 24th through the 26th. Get your tickets today at sonomaraceway.com. Bottom of the fourth inning, the A's leading 5-1. They scored 1 in the first and 4 in the third. Chris Davis with a 3-run homer. So Ladendorf, Crisp, and Simeon. Cesar Ramos still out there for the Rangers, although there was bullpen action last inning. Andrus, nice backhand, throws out Ladendorf.
Now batting center fielder, number 4.
See this play by Andrus. You can see how far he has to go. And that's a funky play for a shortstop. Your body's going in the wrong direction. You got to come in on it because it's not hit very hard, but then you also have to get rid of it real quick, and that's one that sometimes can be thrown away because you don't get your feet right underneath you, which he did perfectly.
Yeah, that looked like, as far as form goes by a shortstop, that looked perfect.
Yeah, those soft hit balls when the shortstop has to go to his right and come in on it. Those are, to me, some of the more difficult ones. You know, as a pitcher, the ball's hit, and you can tell when it's going to be a tough play, and it's kind of a bad feeling because you know how hard it is, and you're just praying your guy makes the play for you. And Andrus made that look pretty easy.
In the air to right field, Chu is right there. 2 outs here in the fourth.
A's fans, make your 2016 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot green and gold at athletics.com on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. Select A's like Danny Valencia, Chris Davis, and Josh Reddick. Vote up to 35 times. Vote today, vote tomorrow, vote at athletics.com/vote.
A month away. It's coming fast. Simeon off the end of the bat. Desmond coming in. He's not going to get it. Desmond playing very deep. He's not a center fielder by nature, but
no, this is the toughest one to read, though. And Desmond, like you said, not a very experienced center fielder. You can see him playing straight away and deep, but this ball hit towards the end of the bat, and you almost have to wait a second to see it, and by that time it was too late. Fell in front.
So here's Danny Valencia. You see Desmond again playing pretty deep. Flying foul. Remember last year and to start this year, Delino DeShields was the center fielder for the Rangers. He was very good last year, struggled this year, and they sent him to the minor leagues. Yeah, at that point, Desmond's playing left field, and they said, you know what? You can play center. You're a good athlete. And Rangers will tell you that he's been very good in center field.
Which is surprising because DeShields was kind of a guy that kind of made them go last year.
No question. Not this year. Desmond said, all right, I'm going to play center field.
Well, Desmond's an incredible athlete, so that helps when you have that kind of athleticism.
Well, and you know what, too, Mark? He's going to be a free agent. So now maybe you've opened yourself up to more suitors. You're not just a shortstop. You're an outfielder. Well, and you may be an outfielder the rest of your career now, but left field, he's shown he can play center field. That's huge.
To be able to play the outfield, and think about a team that would sign him. What if their starting shortstop gets hurt? You know, all of a sudden now he could actually come back in and fill in.
Sure. Throw to second base, and Simeon has a stolen base. So a 2-out stolen base for Marcus Simeon. You like to see that.
Well, a good jump, change up. He's out in front, takes a little longer, and what I like is he actually slid right into the bag rather than sliding over it like so many guys, and you end up see them getting called out because of it.
The art of sliding has become much more important now with instant replay, and you want that foot to slide right into the bag like that.
Well, it's
never leaves the bag.
Yeah, too many times you see guys, even their front foot goes over the bag sometimes. You know, and maybe their knee doesn't, their knee's the first thing to catch the bag. You see Odor holding the tag on him just in case. That was another thing that infielders had to almost learn how to do.
3-2 pitch to Valencia is hit on the ground, left center field, and a base hit. Simeon will come in to score. And how about the stolen base by Marcus Simeon? Give him lots of credit for that. And Valencia has an RBI hit.
The A's get a run back after giving up that one in the last inning. Change up, another change up and away. Just not, that's, I mean, hey, you're not going to get anybody out by throwing change-ups up there. And Valencia all over that. Again, driving it right back up the middle. It's the third or fourth hit we've seen from the A's. Back up the middle, ground ball, line drive.
8 hits total now for the A's. Wilhelmsen, who was up last inning, is up again. This will be pitch number 80 for Ramos. Changeup is outside. He's had 3 hits in the first inning, a hit in the second, 2 hits and 3 walks in the third, 2 more hits here in the fourth. So they've had base runners all over the place. That is a foul ball. Profar picks it up.
We go back to the third inning, and here's the home run. Right down, fastball right down the middle of the plate. Right where Chris Davis would like another one of those here with a 2-1 count.
Davis has knocked in 4 and a fielder's choice RBI in the first. Short lead by Valencia. He's not going anywhere at first. Change up. Good take that time by Davis.
Davis's first at bat when he grounded out, he swung at a changeup just like that. That's what I'm talking about. When guys start to see more and more pitches, you're able to recognize them. And a 2-1 count might have helped because it's really not a pitch you want to swing at, but Davis is always looking to do damage.
So a 3-1 changeup stays outside, and the inning continues. All this with 2 outs. So Jeff Bannister has seen enough. So at 83 pitches, Cesar Ramos is done for the night. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. It's your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
Crowd, Albert Pujols and the Los Angeles Angels invade the Coliseum for an action-packed 3-game series. Friday's game will feature post-game fireworks, while Sunday's contest is the perfect Father's Day gift for family time. Get your tickets now at athletics.com/tickets.
So that's coming up this weekend. Also,
Rumors
rumors swirling that Tim Lincecum may start one of those games for the Angels here at the Coliseum. That certainly would be interesting. Here's Tom Wilhelmsen, the veteran right-hander, who comes in for his 21st appearance. 2 on, 2 out, a run in, and Wilhelmsen facing Butler. And Butler, base hit center field. Valencia rounds third. He's going to come in to score. So Billy Butler comes through with a big hit. So a couple of runs in here. Williamson sees one, throws one pitch. Butler does not wait around.
Well, it's a great sign seeing all these A's hitters going back up the middle, and Butler almost looked as if he was sitting off speed. Gets a slider first pitch. A lot of relievers like to come in and throw that first pitch breaking ball for strike 1, and Butler was waiting on it, driving it right back up the middle for the run.
So Billy Butler gets his 17th RBI. It's now 7-1, the A's lead. Fegley steps in. Wilhelmsen this year started out his season by allowing 17 earned runs in 15 innings. His ERA was nearly 10. And here's a guy who's pitching for a long time in the big leagues. He was sent to the minor leagues. And he went down. Pitched in the minor leagues for a little while, but then earlier this month brought back up to the big leagues.
It's an amazing thing what can happen when someone's confidence gets shot. You know, and that's lots of times with relievers, that's what tends to happen.
Big curve on 0-2, missed inside.
I mean, this is someone who throws 94 to 96. You saw the curveball right there, a slider, changeup. I mean, there's multiple pitches that he can command. And when you start losing confidence, it makes for a long night out there, which he had a bunch of them at the beginning of this season.
Close pitch. 2-2. And Williamson, just looking at his years in Seattle, I mean, he had 5 really good seasons for the Mariners, and then was traded for Leonis Martin. 2-2 pitch to Fegley is driven to right, hit well, Chew on the move. He's not going to get it. It's over his head and it is gone. Fegley with a 3-run shot going the other way, and the A's have blown it open. It's now 10-1.
Well, this is what happens when you're struggling. And Wilhelmsen thought he had Fegley struck out on a breaking ball earlier in the count. He runs a fastball off the plate to get it to 2-2. And what a swing by Fegley here on a fastball down and away. You can see how he gets the arms extended and drives it out to right center.
And there's a base hit. Smolinski lines one to right. What an inning for the A's. They've scored 5 times. They'll have 5
now
hits in the
batting first baseman, number 17, Yonder.
Another
Alonso.
fastball, just middle. We talked about the A's hitters going back up the middle. Smolinski driving this one the other way, letting that ball get nice and deep.
So here's Alonso, the 9th man to hit in the inning. Pair of 3-run homers tonight. Those are always nice. Davis in the 3rd, Fegley here in the 4th. Inside Wilhelmsen. So close the book on Ramos. Gives up 8 runs total. So 2-0 the count. 3-0 the count. Ramos walked 5 and struck out just 1. And that's a low strike call. So Wilhelmsen has faced 3 hitters, giving up a single, a homer, and a single. So 3-1 pitch is bounced to Odor, and Alonso is retired, but a big inning for the A's. They score 5 times, 3 coming off the bat of Josh Fegley, who goes the other way for his first home run of the year. downtown. Get a ticket in our value deck behind home plate, an authentic A's snapback hat, a cheer card, and a $6 food and drink voucher, all for one great price. The best deal in Bay Area baseball. CSN's Authentic Fan Friday. Sean Manaea now has a 10-1 lead. Enjoy the riches.
Yes.
It's good to see an offense that's been struggling, getting a bunch of runs. This one is driven to deep center field. Now into left center field in front of the CSN sign. Coco's got it. So when you hit your first home run of the year, Mark, what happens?
Well, either you're going to clear the dugout or everyone's going to ignore you. What do the A's do? Yep. Ignore them.
He knew it.
And it's probably the best feeling.
How did you know Stephen Vogt was going to be the first one to give him a hug?
Because there's a good chance he's the one who planned that, too.
Yeah, that's true. I always wondered. So, guy hits the home run, and from the time he goes over the fence to the time he gets to the dugout is probably 20, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Who's planning that in that short of time?
Oh,
somebody running up the dugout yelling?
Yeah, somebody just says, hey, everyone ignore him. Nobody say anything. Nobody say anything.
So you just got one guy saying,
oh, yeah. One person says it, and everyone just, you know, follow the leader. You know.
Well, we saw it. Chu gets bent back out of the way. It wasn't the A's, it was a different team. Saw the highlights where a guy hit a home run and everybody left the dugout. Yes. How do you plan that? I think it was Bartolo Colon when he hit the home run, which that's a special moment, but he got to the dugout and nobody was there.
Just all by himself.
A man with his thoughts. Bartolo Colon. 2-2 the count to Shin-Soo Choo, who has hit a fly ball to left and he has walked. For Choo, he played in 5 games to start the season. In the 5th game, he strained his calf, went on the disabled list. Came back on May 20th, played 3 innings, and pulled his hamstring. And tonight, he was just activated from the disabled list. So you think it's been frustrating for him? Get him back, 3 innings, 2 at-bats, pulled hamstring.
Well, and then his last at-bat fouled the ball off his kneecap.
Of course.
That's how those things go.
Important for the Rangers to keep Chu on the field. He stayed healthy last year and had a very good year. He hit .276 with 22 homers, 82 RBIs, and 32 doubles. And he belts this one to center. Coco going back, still going back, and he's going to run out of room. That one's gone. Long home run for Shin-Soo Choo, his first of the year.
Manaea goes with the heater. You don't want to walk anybody. It's 10-1. You want to attack them. You want to go after them, just not up in the zone like this. And you see Chu all over this pitch. Leadoff hitter who has pop.
We also have a meeting on the mound, and the trainer is out there. Well, that's never good. So that's going to be it. So 4 1/3 innings. Let's see if he does anything. He points to the forearm area. So unfortunately, Sean Manaea is done for the ball game after 4 1/3. So Daniel Colomb is coming in when it's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
Fireworks presented by Ray Morgan Company. After the game against the Angels, our famous fireworks show will be set to music from classic baseball movies, including The Natural, Bull Durham, Field of Dreams, and more. There's no better way to start the summer than with A's baseball and fireworks. So visit athletics.com/fireworks today.
So there is no celebrating going on out in the parking lot. Unfortunately, the Warriors lost tonight.
Number 20.
So give the Cavs credit. They came to Oracle and they won. And they played well. Too much LeBron James and Kyrie Irving tonight. So there will be a Game 6 in Cleveland. And that'll be Thursday night, Quicken Loans Arena. So disappointment for Warriors fans. Celebrate on the home court. Do you know the last Bay Area team to clinch on a home field? Home field now. So you got to eliminate, certainly in the NFL, because that's a neutral site. I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No, I
The
don't know.
1974 A's, they beat the Dodgers right here. Warriors last year were not at home. Toward right field. Desmond is going to be retired, so that's out number 2. Colomb gets the first out he faces. So here's the numbers on Manaea, and a note. You may want to look down at the bottom. And Mark, you said you maybe noticed it a little bit. Average fastball dropped from 92 to 89 in this 5th inning. His first pitch of the 5th inning.
Yeah, it just didn't. I saw the 90 or 91, and then I saw one at 87 or 88, and I kind of thought to myself, that wasn't a slider.
So,
not that I would have thought he was hurt.
No.
I mean, I had no idea, but it did seem just a little off.
we'll keep our fingers crossed. Daniel Colomb facing Jurickson Profar.
And Colomb, that's got to be awkward for reliever comes in and warms up out on the field, which you always got to make sure you give yourself plenty of time.
Yeah, don't feel rushed.
Yeah,
even though everybody's looking at you.
Yeah,
going, hurry up.
You get out there, crowd's like, all right, come on, let's go. And
how many does he need?
You're out there, you have so much adrenaline, and you might think you're ready, but every time a reliever has to do that, pitching coach always says, hey, take more than you need, because you're going to feel readier than you really are.
Yeah, if you come in for an injured pitcher, you can
take all the time you want.
Many warm-ups as you want.
Normally relievers don't need that many, but you need to make sure you take enough.
3-1 pitch, and Profar maybe swung at ball 4. So yeah, so the 1974 A's, the last team to clinch on their home field in the Bay Area. Little pop-up. Gladendorf comes in. He's got it. So nice job by Daniel Colomb. Gets the 2 outs. He may stick around for a little while. 10-2 A's lead after the Chu home run. we're talking about. This is the last time a Bay Area team clinched a world championship on their home field. And it was the A's in 1974. There's our good friend Ray Fosse, number 10, who almost got his neck broken by Sal Bando. Ray said it was all worth it. Early fingers getting the final out. So interesting stuff. So, 2 professional teams have clinched a title on their home field or arena in the Bay Area, the 74 A's, and don't forget about the 1969 Oakland Oaks of the old ABA. Us Midwest folks do not remember the Oakland Oaks of the ABA,
No.
Mark. Hate to say that.
We do not.
On the ground, nice play by Profar. Long throw across the diamond. He throws it wide. Ladendorf with the good speed will be aboard. So we'll see what the ruling is. It's going to be a base hit.
And once Profar decided to go back on this ball, it's not that the play can't be made. It's just hard because your body's going the other way and you have to try and turn and then get something on this throw. Because Ladendorf can run a little bit, you see him get on the side of it. And just as we saw earlier, it's almost like a sinker over to first base. It just starts dying halfway there.
Yeah, he's not feeling that great about playing third base right now. Here's Coco. Lines one right at Semien in the on-deck circle, and that almost hit Marcus Semien. He ducked right at the last minute. He's okay now.
Well, Coco basically hits that.
Oh. Pay attention.
I mean, I think Coco, yeah, it got him right. It got him in the arm or the chest right there. Yeah. I think Coco hit that out of the catcher's mitt.
Coco has singled and scored, walked and scored, and hit a fly ball in the right field. 1-1 pitch to Coco is hit into right field. Another hit for the A's. Ladendorf around second. At good speed. He goes all the way to third. First and third, nobody out. 13 hits now for the Athletics.
The A's offense didn't do a whole lot on the road trip, but boy, they must have just saved it all for home because Wilhelmsen is not. Guys are fighting to get to the bat rack right now.
Yep.
And Wilhelmsen might be in here for a while, and you can see the speed of Ladendorf. Picks up the third base, picks up Wash at third. Cruises on in, but you know, we talked about Colon maybe being in for a few innings. Wilhelmsen, first game of a series, might be in here for a while also.
Yeah, he's faced 6 hitters, and 5 of them have hits. Marcus Semien is 2 for 3. Holds that one foul. So the 1989 A's, of course, won it in the Bay Area, but that was at Candlestick, and it was a little bit more of a subdued celebration, obviously. The 49ers won the '84 Super Bowl at Stanford Stadium. The Super Bowl's neutral. Base hit right field, and another run for the A's as Ladendorf trots home. So it is a full hit parade now, folks. 11 runs and 14 hits for the Athletics. It's a bad feeling if you're Tom Wilhelmsen.
See another fastball in. Semien, who has done so well pulling his hands in. This one pulls him in, and ball gets deep and drives it the other way. Just a good piece of hitting on his part. And for Wilhelmsen, just nothing is going right. And there is nobody up in the bullpen. So this is one of those times where he might just have to take it for the team.
How do you figure that, though? I mean, this is a guy.
Yeah.
Again, 5 good seasons with the Mariners. He was a good, solid reliever. He comes into spring training. Him being this bad is not even a thought in his mind.
No.
And 2.5 months into the season, his ERA is over 10.
And the stuff hasn't changed.
No,
that's what I find that's amazing in it. You know, not to guess, but we don't know maybe what's going on with him. Maybe there's something off the field. Sometimes you see that with guys. You know, like I said, when your confidence gets hurt, or when you're dealing with other things, it's not to speculate. It's just that since the stuff hasn't changed, I find it hard to believe that he's struggling this bad.
I mean, he's 95, 96. He's always had that big,
good
over-the-top curve. And there it is.
You know, he's got 2 different plus breaking balls. A good changeup, which he doesn't use a whole lot, but
2-2 to Valencia. 96, but inside. So a full count with Chris Davis to follow. Everybody has a hit in the A's lineup except for Alonso, but Alonso has a sacrifice fly. Fouled straight back. Fastball out away. Valencia likes that pitch. We've seen him hit that pitch out of the ballpark.
he likes to get his arms extended. You see that leg kick. Sometimes when those balls are fouled straight back, you're actually late on those. But you can see from that side angle, he was just a little bit.
Fouls it back again. Valencia has singled, reached on an air, and singled again. He has knocked in a run, and he has scored twice. Curveball tapped toward Profar. He's got it. Fires to second, and a close play. And they just get Simeon. So it's a fielder's choice. And now the A's have runners at the corners with one out.
And this time Profar makes the play, just getting a force at second. Not hit hard enough to get anything more. Even though Odor tries to make a little jump and check the runner, but this one more routine. He just needed to get rid of it quickly, which he does, to get the out at second base.
So here's Chris Davis, another RBI chance for Davis. He has 4 RBIs tonight, thanks to a 3-run homer and an RBI fielder's choice. And that one grounded. Nice play, Andrus, who flips to second, flips it wide, run scores, everybody's safe. So it's going to be a hit and an RBI. Nice and simple.
Another ball back up the middle for the A's, and Andrus makes a nice diving play. And I know he's trying to turn two, but he could have taken maybe just a little bit more time. And lots of times we've seen him make that glove flip play before, but this one just sticks in the end of the webbing a little too long. And Odor trying to stay on the bag and just pulls him off a little too far.
I'm trying to add up Chris Davis's season numbers against the Rangers. It's just taking a little while. He now has 5 home runs and 13 RBIs in 4 games. 5 homers, 13 RBIs in 4 games. 4 hits in the inning for the A's. You know, talking about Wilhelmsen having to stay out there. It's like the last thing a manager wants to do.
Absolutely.
But sometimes you just don't have a choice. I'm guessing they were at the Warriors game. How did they get in here? There's the strike. 2-2 to Butler.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than when a manager doesn't have many options and somebody needs to be out there and they're struggling and guys are on base and runs are scoring. You feel terrible.
There's another hit. Line to center. Desmond gets it in quickly. So Valencia stops at third and the bases are loaded.
Fastball from Williamson, just up and over the middle of the plate. Just not a lot of quality pitches, and the A's are taking full advantage of that right now.
Collison starts to throw. 35 pitches for Wilhelmsen.
And imagine that. Those are two guys planning on being at the end of the bullpen who are in this blowout game pitching in the fourth and fifth inning.
That's right. That's a setup man and a closer when the season starts.
Yes.
Negley homered last inning.
You see the fastball away. You see the extension. Catches that ball out in front. Tons of backspin. Ball carries right over that right center field wall, and it's not easy going oppo at night here. Ball doesn't carry as well. It's a little cool, and that ball was smoked.
Fegley has also singled and hit into a double play. First pitch is outside. So Wilhelmsen has faced 10 hitters. He's given them 8 hits. So 1-0 to Fegley. There's a strike. 1-1 the count. 95 miles an hour.
It's hard to understand. I mean, 94 to 96. I know I've said that, but
did we add with movement?
Yeah. That's things are going bad. This is what happens, though. It's just the problem is as long as it's gone bad for him.
Yep.
You don't see that very often.
Tapped foul past Ron Washington. 12-2 the A's lead. Scored in every inning except the second. 1 in the first, 4 in the third, 5 in the fourth, 2 here in the fifth. Fastball is high. 40 pitches for Wilhelmsen. Valencia at third, Davis at second, and Butler at first. Breaking ball, hooked down the left field line, just foul.
The other part of this is Wilhelmsen's gotten to 2 strikes a few different times and just not making the pitches to put guys away either.
It's a famous Marlins man.
Yeah, he was behind home earlier.
What a surprise.
Shocker, huh?
Knowing the Marlins man, he has the ability to be at the A's game, the Warriors game, and the Giants game all at the same time. Because all 3 are playing home. He's going to pull it off tonight. We got a full printout on that guy, where he's from, what his deal is.
You know, I've heard a few guys. I know a few guys who have actually talked to him. And
Dying to know. Moreland hustling over. Moreland makes a nice sliding catch.
This is where the foul ground here at the Coliseum will get you. There's just so much room, and Moreland just continues to go, and you see just how far he has to be able to get there. He makes a nice dive, a nice sliding catch.
Well, there's parks where that's 12 rows back.
At least 12 rows. In fact, most parks, that's 12 rows deep.
So 2 outs, base is still loaded. 2 runs in here in the 5th, and here's Smolinski. Off speed pitch, just a little bit low. Smolinski has yet to be retired. 2 singles and a walk. And there's another hit. Valencia will score. Davis being waved home. Throw to the plate. Not in time. 2 more runs. It's 14-2. The A's lead. Smolinski's 3 for 3. So we're going to have a pitching change. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. So Wilhelmsen out. It's 14-2. The A's lead.
Annual A's Pride Night, presented by Wells Fargo, tomorrow, Tuesday, June 14th. There's still time to purchase a special ticket that includes a Pride Rainbow headband and pregame party in the Eastside Club. Partial proceeds from the event will benefit AIDS Project of the East Bay, Our Space, and Rainbow Community Center. For tickets and information, visit athletics.com/pride.
So Yonder Alonso comes in. Those guys are saying, save a little bit for me.
Share the wealth.
It's only the 5th inning, and the A's have 17 hits. 2 on, 2 out. Tollison comes in, Sean Tollison. Tollison, ERA, 9.5. Hard to believe.
Yes, it is.
He was very good last year for the Rangers. I mean, he was their guy. He was their closer. Tollison last year had 35 saves and a 2.99 ERA. Two and 1 the count to Yonder Alonso. Alonso, good swing at a high fastball, fouls it just down and to our left. Alonso has hit into a double play. He's got a sacrifice fly, and he is grounded out.
He's trying to join in the party.
Yes, he is. At least he's got the sac fly. If he didn't have that, he'd be trying to figure out what the heck's going on. Two pitch is tapped up the first base line. Moreland will take it himself. Side retired. So the A's score 4 times on 6 hits in the 5th inning. It is now 14-2, the A's lead. California is brought to you by PG&E, together building a better California. Well, a good night on this side of the Coliseum complex, where the A's are leading 14-2 after 5 innings. Unfortunately, the Warriors lost tonight. Still leading in the NBA championship. Best of 7, 3-2. Daniel Colomb facing Rougned Odor. Rua to follow, and then Prince Fielder here in the top of the 6th. Four hits for the Rangers. Sean Manaea left in the 5th inning. We have not heard any report on him just yet. Pitching well. He had 5 strikeouts and 4 1/3. Oh, 2 pitches hit high and foul. Colombo has a chance to get a win. Unfortunately for Manaea, he cannot. He did not pitch full 5 innings. Youngsters happy. And that one tapped past Valencia, who was shaded over toward the shortstop spot. So Odor has a leadoff single here in the 6th.
With being shifted like that, Odor just kind of an emergency hack, trying to put the ball in play to that slow breaking ball that was down and away, just beats it into the ground.
Now batting, number 16.
Just Valencia can't get there.
So the leadoff man aboard for the Rangers. There's Ryan Rua. Ladendorf, second baseman, playing right behind the bag at second. The Twins are leading the Angels. Is that a 9 out there I see? 9-3 in the 8th inning. That one's hit to center and hit well. Coco's going back into deep right center, and that's gone. That's Ryan Rua with a 2-run homer. So it's now 14-4. A couple of home runs tonight for the Texas Rangers.
And just like a bunch of other guys in this Texas lineup, there's some guys with some serious pop. And trying to go inside, the ball comes back over the middle, and Colon just kind of put his head down as if he knew that ball was crushed. It was just to the right of center field.
So Rua hitting it a long ways. His 5th home run of the year. Prince Fielder. Prince Fielder with a fly ball to center, and then he was hit by a pitch. And he bounces that one toward Landorf, who ranges to his left, and that's out number 1. So the Angels down big in that game down in Anaheim to the Twins. The Angels have lost 6 out of 7. And that's the first of a 3-game series.
Number 1.
Jared Weaver started that game and did not pitch well. And those Angels will be here this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Funny, the A's have not been to Anaheim yet.
They haven't really played the AL West
yet.
They haven't really played many AL West games.
More action for Landorf, who charges. 2 outs. The A's record against the West is 9-12, and we talked about this earlier. So the A's coming into tonight, 21 division games played. The Rangers,
Number 18.
35 division games played. That's a huge difference. I think we got a new injury, don't we? Left pronator muscle strain is the report on Sean Manaea. Left pronator muscle strain. So maybe the inside of the forearm a little bit. That's what Mike Selleck just let us know. Well, let's hope it's nothing more than a strain.
You'd think with all the injuries I had, even I would know what that is.
Ever hurt that pronator?
I hurt my forearm. It's got to be close enough.
It's probably in that area. Yeah, it's in the neighborhood. A little bit inside to Mitch Moreland, who has struck out and he has grounded out. Nope, the A's have not been to Anaheim. That's hard to believe. They will go there soon, though. June 23, 24, 25, 26. Landorf went for the backhand, slipped a little bit. So Moreland's going to have a hit, got it somewhat through the shift.
Well, and with this shift, you can see kind of right where the ump is. It's hit just to his left, right in between both guys. Even if Landorf would have gotten there, he wouldn't have really had a play playing too deep, going to his right like that. You can see he kind of slipped, took it, stopped it with his foot.
So Bobby Wilson will hit for the 3rd time. Wilson a strikeout and a fly ball to center field. Grounds this one in the hole. Simeon over there, goes to second in time. Side retired. Ryan Rua with a 2-run homer. So bottom of the 6th coming up. 14-4. The A's lead the Rangers. Who was rolling along nicely. 4 1/3 innings. He had 5 strikeouts. He walked just 1. Then with 1 out in the 5th, he gave up a home run to Shin-Soo Choo. After that home run, the A's came out to check on him. So he pointed to his forearm area. And that was it. So 4 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 5 strikeouts at 86 pitches. So he was 2 outs away from getting a W. That always hurts.
Well, let's hope it's not anything serious. And by the way, I did have a forearm strain and missed a month.
So you had the pronator.
Yep.
Andrus, ball stays down on him. He stays with it. Throws to first. That was not an easy play. Brian Holiday is the new left fielder. Ryan Rua moves over to center. Ian Desmond will take the rest of the night off.
Batting for Coco Crisp, number 1, Billy Burns.
And here's Billy Burns, who's going to hit for Coco Crisp. So Coco's going to get the rest of the night off. Billy Burns struggling to get rolling. He taps this one. Profar charges. Quick throw on the run. Another nice play. So Profar struggled some at 3rd tonight, but that was a pretty good play. So 2 away.
Now batting shortstop, number 10, Marcus Simeon.
The Rangers bullpen is quiet. Sean Collison got the final out in the 5th. Trying for a 3-up, 3-down inning. Marcus Simeon's had a big night. Singled in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd. Singled and scored in the 4th. Singled in a run in the 5th. So he's 3 for 4. So his average now at 243. So he's closing in on that 250 mark, and he's been below 250 for most of the year. Has not hurt his power numbers. It's that one. Foul down the right field line.
When you get a lead like this later in the game, it's sometimes hard as hitters to stay focused because you have such a big lead. You want to add to your, it almost becomes a little bit, I guess, selfish. You're trying to add to your numbers, keep things going. Sometimes the umpires expand the zone just a little bit, maybe to try to move the game along. And sometimes for hitters this time you want to add to these numbers because it's a blowout, but yet sometimes guys can get a little frustrated because they try to do a little too much. Just try to stick with what you've done the first 4 or 5 innings.
So now full count to Semien. Zepchinski saving the day. Pitch, a fastball, swing and a miss by Marcus Semien. So for the first time, the Rangers get a 3-up, 3-down inning. 7th inning coming up. It's 14-4, the A's lead. On this date in 1992, that's Carney Lansford. He gets career hit number 2,000. It's a home run against the Rangers at the Coliseum before Mount Davis was built. When those cool bleachers were out there. The career of Carney Lansford, Angels, Red Sox, A's. Was an All-Star in '88. Won the batting title in '81 with the Red Sox. Lansford played on, of course, those terrific teams of the late '80s. Really some of the most talented teams, not just in A's history, but in baseball history, with Henderson, McGuire, Canseco, and Lansford. You know the list.
Growing up a White Sox fan, I always felt when the A's came in that Lansford Carney just killed us. And I say us because I grew up, I'm a little kid, you know, pulling for the White Sox. And
you were worried about the other big hitters, and then Carney would get like 8 hits in a series.
That's exactly right.
When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. Zach Neal. After Colon goes an inning and 2/3. So Billy Burns stays in the game in center field. So Burns pinch hit for Coco Chris. So Burns in center. Neal on the mound. Hard hit ball. Ladendorf to shift on. He was well out in shallow right field. He scoops it up and throws out Chu. Chu hit it hard. So 1 out, and here's Holiday. And Holiday, who was hitting for the first time.
For Texas, batting for Desmond, number 8, Brian Holiday.
Holiday in the game playing left field. First pitch to Holiday is popped up, shallow left. Davis calls off Semien, 2 away. And that'll bring up Profar. The Astros have the night off. They will have an interleague series with the St. Louis Cardinals coming up, but it's one of those two-game deals, the Tuesday, Wednesday. In fact, they have the same thing that
Number 19,
the A's just had. Where they are off today, play Tuesday and Wednesday in St. Louis, and then off Thursday. The A's had that in Milwaukee. Had the two-game series on Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's a little bit of a strange quirk in the schedule. But Mariners are off as well. Mariners open up a long road trip tomorrow in St. Petersburg. They will play the Rays, the Red Sox, and the Tigers on the road trip. So a challenge trip for Seattle.
I don't ever remember having 2 off days and having, you know, like what you guys
Yeah,
did
it's very
last week.
strange.
I don't ever remember doing that.
Well, I guess I think every team has to do it with, you know, the interleague schedule now and how that works. One of the teams in the division that you're playing, you're going to have a 2-2 series against, 2 home, 2 away. And in the A's case, 2 in Milwaukee, and the Brewers will be here next week for a 2-game series. I guess it just has to be that way to get the amount of games properly lined up, which is 20 interleague games for everybody. Neal can't get it. Valencia will just hold on to it. So Profar with an infield hit.
Well, Profar hasn't had what he would consider the best at bats tonight, but this one, this is a perfect bunt essentially. He checks his swing and basically lays down the perfect bunt with Valencia back. Obviously not ready for anything that was even similar to a bunt like that, and it was placed perfectly. But hey, a hit's a hit.
He'll take it. Who's Odor? Odor, very aggressive. He is not afraid to jump on that first pitch. In fact, Odor, very good numbers. Mentioned the 13 doubles and the 10 home runs. He has 6 walks and an on-base percentage of .285. But I think you can sort of be okay with a guy who doesn't walk a lot if he's getting doubles and homers, and that is the case with Odor.
Yeah. But imagine if he was a little more patient,
just a little bit,
what he could maybe do and how much of a game changer he could maybe be.
And he may get that a little bit as his career goes on. Again, he's only 22 years old. Profar not being held on by Alonso. And that one right in there for a strike. And now it's 2-2. Odor's hit in the 6th inning. Same defensive alignment. He just kind of poked it past Valencia to Valencia's right. And it almost looked like he was trying to do it. It's looking that way. That one's hit high in the air to right field. Smolinski backing up a little bit, and he makes the catch. Side retired hit and a runner left for the Rangers. 7th inning stretch time with the A's leading 14-4.
on CSN California is brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV.
A's fans having a good time. Why not? It's the first of a long homestand. 9-game homestand, and it's starting out well. 14-4, the A's lead. 17 hits in 6 innings. It'll be a night game tomorrow, a night game Wednesday, and then a day game on Thursday for this A's Rangers series. Eric Surkamp is going to pitch tomorrow night, so he will be called up from the minor leagues. So there will be another roster move made to get Surkamp back up. A's traveling secretary, director of team travel, we should say, Mickey Morabito's been a busy guy the last month. Lots of injuries for the A's.
I think he's lost track at times of who's coming and going.
There's a shot to right field. Coming in, and a diving play, and a nice play by Chu. Valencia did a smash. So Chu comes in, and Valencia retired for the first time.
You can see just how hard this ball was hit. Chu reads it off the bat, moves to his right, and then has to come in and dive to his left. That's how much tail was on that ball. It was sinking quick. Nice play.
And here's Chris Davis. What a night for Chris Davis. He has 5 RBIs. He's 2 for 3. 5 RBIs, 3 runs scored, and a home run. Lays off that one. 1-1 the count. See where Josh Reddick started swinging the bat a little bit today. Hit off a tee today. So that's kind of where you start if you're where Josh Reddick is at. The thumb injury. So it'll be a little time yet for Reddick. Swing and a miss and a fastball up and away. So Davis strikes out. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th, and that gets us to Sportsnet Central. Check it out tonight. It's brought to you by Hyundai. Comes on at 10:30, and it's over on CSN Bay Area. All the highlights from the Warriors' loss tonight to the Cavs. Sharks look back on what was a very special season. They came up just a little bit short. Dave Feldman will host, and they are right next door at Oracle. They're setting up right now, putting their makeup on. Warriors could not quite get it done tonight. Billy Butler's had a big night. Of course, everybody's had a big night for the A's, but Butler has walked twice, singled twice, scored twice, and knocked in a run. It's good to see a little production out of Billy Butler. Policy, 93 miles an hour.
Well, Butler wasn't getting a whole lot of playing time earlier in the year, but it goes to show you, you start playing a little bit more, you get a few hits, and when you're playing sparingly like that, it's sometimes tough to get going. It doesn't matter who you are.
So his production and playing time maybe goes hand in hand.
They can.
There's not always been a lot of spots for Butler in the early going, but a little bit more lately. 2-2 pitch, good curveball from Tollison. Another 3-up, 3-down inning for the Rangers bullpen, and we are going to the 8th. 14-4, the A's lead.
streaming sports service delivers everything you have come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Includes a free subscription to @Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
Up the middle. Landorf knocks it down, picks it up, throws, and they got him. Oh, what a play by Tyler Landorf. He knocked it down, picked it up, and threw from the seat of his pants.
What a play. I'm back up the middle here. And he had time. And that's the thing that I like the most is he took his time. He fields it, he knocks it down, bare hands, picks it up, and makes a perfect throw from the seat of his pants for the out. Look how much he gets on that throw.
How about the fact that he picked it up with his glove and quickly exchanged it into his throwing hand? Watch this. Boom, boom. Oh, that was pretty good. That was pretty darn good.
He almost made it look easy.
So here's Prince Fielder.
The ball smoked up the middle. So as quick as he does that, it still almost looked in slow-mo. He made it look easy. How quickly he transferred that and how much he got on that throw.
Fegley coming back, and it'll go into the seats.
As you said, there's just kind of the pick and the exchange and release.
Probably one of the better plays we've seen this year. So 1-2 the count to Prince Fielder. Elvis Andrus will be next. Sinker low from Zach Neal, the third pitcher of the night for the A's. Manaea 4 1/3. Cologne 1 2/3. Curveball, a big swing by Prince Fielder. Fly out, ground out hit by pitch for Prince Fielder.
Big swings from Prince haven't changed, but it has been a struggle so far this season.
Hard to imagine him struggling this much. Third year with the Rangers. Had a very nice season last year. 305, 23 homers, 98 RBIs. Kind of looked like the Prince Fielder with the Milwaukee Brewers. It's that one hard, but Alonso's right there. So 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning.
Now
And that'll
batting,
bring up Elvis Andrus.
#1, the shortstop, Elvis Andrus.
The Rangers have 3 very, very long contracts. Prince Fielder, who has a contract that runs through 2020. So there's 4 more years on that. Elvis Andrus is another one. And of course Shin-Soo Choo. And those are tough contracts to move if you wanted to. One of the best plays of the season, Tyler Landorf. We like it. Your local Toyota dealers. All A's tonight. 4-8-1 for the Rangers. 14-17-2 for the Athletics. The only concern is Sean Manaea leaving in the 5th inning with forearm strain. And outside of that, Chris Davis, a huge night. 5 home runs already against the Texas Rangers this year in just 4 games. So that's your Toyota game summary for tonight. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. It's your oil change, tune-up, and repair expert. So Alex Claudio, who was just called up to the big leagues earlier today. So the lefty comes in to face Fegley, Smolinski, and Alonso. Fegley with a 3-run homer in the 4th inning. First pitch gets a little bit of Bobby Wilson. Fegley also singled into 3rd, so he's 2 for 4. All these hits for the A's, they have 17 hits. Hard to figure out that the last 7 guys have been retired. 17 hits in the first 5 innings. And that one called a strike, and it's 0-2.
Well, like I said, they struggled offensively on that road trip, and we hope this continues, this homestand. And it's not even all the hits, it's the at-bats.
Better at-bats.
Yes, much better at-bats. Guys going back up the middle. I know you can kind of use that statement a little too much, but we just kind of saw guys trying to use the bigger part of the field. Drive it back up that way, a few guys going the other way.
Like that, a little flare. Sometimes they fall for you. That one almost did. Make sure you join us tomorrow. It'll be game 2 of this 4-game series between the A's and the Rangers. Eric Surkamp and Martin Perez is your matchup. A couple of lefties. Coverage begins at 6:30 with A's pregame live. Complete A's coverage every night on Sportsnet Central and csncalifornia.com. So Martin Perez, Eric Surkamp tomorrow. Fegley waited on it, drives it towards center, hit pretty well. Rua is back there to make the catch. 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's a final now from Anaheim. The Twins beat the Angels 9-4.
Now batting.
So the Angels have now lost 7 out of their last 8. They are 10 games under the 500 mark. Weaver took the loss. Royals beat the Indians 2-1. Good series there in Kansas City. The Royals pick up a game on the first place Indians. They're just 2 back now. Volquez beat Carrasco, and Wade Davis got a save. Curve taken for a ball by Smolinski. White Sox beat the Tigers 10-9 in 12 innings. Huge early lead by Detroit, and they blew it. Tigers had a 7-0 lead in the bottom of the 3rd and lost 10-9. That's not good. James Shields making his 3rd start for the White Sox. Not good. Shields gave up 6 earned runs in 5 innings.
It hasn't been good for a while for him.
So he's made 3 starts now for the White Sox. Got knocked around in all 3. 2-2 the count to Smolinski, who is 3 for 3 with a walk. Holiday backs up. Now comes in a step or 2. He hasn't. Got a little smile on his face. Holiday mostly a catcher. But he say, hey, I can play some left field.
It was 14-4. These are the kind of things that happen, you know.
Better be ready. see where Ichiro Suzuki is closing in on 3,000 hits in the big leagues, right? In the major leagues here in the United States. But his combined hits between here and in Japan is 1 away from Pete Rose.
I did not know it was that close.
1 away.
I knew he was creeping up on it.
That's pretty amazing if you think about it. And you pitched against him a lot.
And I gave up a lot of hits to him too. He hit about 400 off me.
And he probably drove you crazy, right? Because you were probably throwing it in the dirt and off the plate.
You know what? The hardest thing about Ichiro that I learned, then I got traded, but what I didn't get at first was that he almost, I thought he hit off speed, whether it was splits, breaking. I thought he hit that better than fastballs.
Probably
and
did.
when I started throwing him fastballs kind of almost down the middle, he just ground out to second base.
Sure.
You know, but when I tried to throw him a nasty split with 2 strikes, he'd slap it into left field.
Andrus backhands across the diamond side, retired. We're going to the 9th. Plenty of padding for the A's. They lead 14-4. Lots of celebrating tonight for the A's for good reason. They have pounded out 17 hits, scored 14 runs, and it's all good right now for the Athletics in game 1 of this 4-game series. They lead 14-4. Chris Davis with 5 RBIs. So good start to this long homestand. And for Zach Neal, 2 good innings so far. He's allowed just 1 hit as he faces Moreland, Wilson, and then Chu. Two pitch, a little bit high. Keep this in mind, Mark. Zach Neal, even though it's a 14-4 game, he could get a save.
Nope. And for someone who's primarily been a starter in the minor leagues.
Hey. That one is belted to right and deep. And Mitch Moreland homers here at the Coliseum. We say that quite a bit. So it's 14-5. 3rd home run tonight for the Rangers.
Well, that is one thing the Rangers do. They do hit some home runs. They got a lot of power in this lineup, and this is just a fastball in that comes right back over the middle.
Number 6.
You can see Moreland knew it when he knew he got that one.
He has 11 career home runs here at the Coliseum. Wilson hits it hard, but foul. So total home runs against the Athletics. Moreland has 15. Beltre has 24. And that's since 2010. 2010 was a rookie season for Moreland. Wilson's going to be aboard. Valencia could not pick it up clean, and neither could Simeon. That's going to be another error. There's going to be an error on Valencia. And that's his second in the game.
Well, this isn't the way you want to finish off this 9th inning. Valencia just kind of gets it right on the heel of the glove. You can see it come up a little bit, and then Simeon tries to barehand it. Obviously, he's rushing and misses it, but Wilson probably would have been safe anyway.
Top of the order, and Chu. Chu, it's a shot to Ladendorf. He's got it out at second, on to first. Double play, and that's the ball game. 2 outs, sorry. Got a little excited there.
You did. I like that, though. It happens. I mean, this ball smoked at second. Look at Ladendorf, such smooth hands right there. He kind of gets it up near the heel of the glove, but a quick transfer. I mean, almost underhand.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen sidearm. That's almost underhand, and I know Cano does that a little bit. That's smooth out there when guys do that.
So here is Holiday for his second at bat. He swings and misses. No, watch.
See, watch this. It's not even sidearm. I mean, this is just.
It's Chad Bradford-ish.
Yeah, don't try that at home, kids.
Valencia has it, and this will be the ball game, I promise you. So Valencia takes care of it. A run on the Moreland home run, but not nearly enough. So the A's take game 1 of this 4-game series, and they have also beat the Texas Rangers all 4 games so far this year. So time of game, 3 hours and 6 minutes in front of 13,453. Big night for the A's offense as the A's defeat the Texas Rangers. Final score, A's 14, Rangers 5. You've been watching Oakland A's baseball on CSN California. It's part of the NBC Sports Group. Don't go away. A's post-game live with Henry Wolford and Shooty Babbitt starts right now.